Our next question from YouTube from Zach W2889. What would it take to get Dylan Cease from San Diego? Joe, there's a lot of talk around Michael King, Cease, with the Padres having a lot of financial aspects of their organization up in the air right now. What do you think a package would look like for a pitcher of Cease's caliber?
It's really tough, and I don't feel like the Padres are going to trade either of these guys. I think it's one of those things that they are out there, and if somebody wants to come in and bowl them over with an offer, then they'll consider it. AJ Preller is always willing to trade guys with 1 year of control left on them. Historically, what the Padres have done, the Juan Soto trade is one of the examples, but they're not rebuilding. Like the Padres aren't going to be wanting, you know, guys in single A, guys in double
Right.
A. They want pieces to impact now, even if that means the ceiling of that player is a little less. But when you're talking about Dylan Cease, who could be a true top of the rotation guy, if I'm them, I'm not doing a deal without Brandon Sproat in it. I don't know why I
Right.
would. And you could look at Tyler McGill. Maybe that's someone that interests them that could come back and be a part of a rotation. Because as I said, they're not looking to tear this thing up. They would just be trying to get some value on a guy that may not stay long term. If I'm them, I'm not doing a deal without somebody like Sproat in it. And McGill makes sense. And maybe you could deal from your newfound bullpen depth, and then you tack on like a prospect or so at the end. And that to me feels like what they may seek. And I'd be stunned if David Stearns were particularly interested in doing that.
Yeah, I mean, Cease is the ultimate like selling high kind of guy. I mean, I
Yeah.
think they'd have to be blown away. I mean, you're talking about somebody that for four straight seasons, he's made 32 or more starts. I mean, he's coming off a season where he had a 3.47 ERA 2 years ago with Chicago, 2.2 ERA. I mean, WAR of 6.4 that year, wins above replacement 4.2 this year. This is a guy that, at 28, and he just turned 29 in December. Like it would be peak selling high, Joe. I'm with you that I think the Padres case would be how do we get a top pitching prospect like a Sproat, and how do we get a major league piece right now where there's a world that, like they did with Soto, right? You're trying to get a little bit of volume over one high end player so you could round out your roster a little bit. And Michael, it's ironic that Michael King's name is being thrown around there because he was one of the big pieces in the Soto trade. But organizations like San Diego, that to be fair to them, and it was a different era, they did spend a lot of money. But
Yeah.
guys like Preller, they get really, really creative, Joe, on how to kind of, it's not manipulate, but play to the strengths of how the financials work in baseball in terms of team control before a guy can ever hit free agency.
That AJ Preller likes to ride players until the last year and then get out. If they're not ready to extend, like maybe they look at Dylan Cease and say, we really like him, but where we are, especially with everything going on behind the scenes in San Diego, it's a little cluttered right now. That they say, we can move someone like a Dylan Cease and get, as you said, a young pitching prospect, and then somebody to just go in the rotation who may not be as good, but it's a fill-in spot for now.